In this lesson, we're going to get familiar with some keyboard shortcuts that will allow us to quickly navigate in our code editor and perform some operations without necessarily having to use the mouse. So let's go ahead and get a file open, such as password collection or some other file with some decent amount of code in it that we can look at, and let's maximize it so that we can see the screen a little better. The first thing I want to show you is that it's possible to scroll up and down without using the mouse. If you are to hold the Control key, or essentially the Command key on the Macintosh, hold that down and press the up or down arrow, you can actually scroll in the editor. So there's the down and there's the up. So that's a nice easy way to quickly move without using the mouse. The next thing I want to show you is that it's possible to jump from word to word using again the Control or Command key and the right or left arrow. So here if I hit right, you can see it jumps and a period counts as a word, infinite skills, period, utilities, period, and that essentially allows us to move from word to word very quickly. We can see how that works here so that we can quickly move to position using Control and the right or left key. Now an even bigger jump is if you hit the Control and Shift key and the up or down arrow, it will move between your keywords in the file. So that'll be your variables, class names, method names, and it'll quickly move to the next one. So you can see how easy it is to move to a section inside of your code editor using the Control, Shift, up and down arrow. So again, this is the Command, Shift, up and down on the Macintosh. Now if you want to select code word by word, you're going to hit Control, Shift, and right or left. Now this allows us to quickly select blocks of code based on words. So if we were to want to select the offset variable for some reason, we could simply hold Control, Shift, and if we're on the right hand side of it, move left. If we're on the left hand side, move right, and you can select the entire word. If for some reason you want to change the order of lines, for example, if you wanted to change offset to be executed before HM equals null, you could hit the Alt key, which is the Option key in the Macintosh, and hit the up or down arrow. Now this will simply move the lines around. You can see that's essentially selecting that line and moving it up. So it's just inserting it above or below, depending on if you're moving up or down. Now, if I want to select more code, one easy way is to position my cursor where I want to start and hitting the Shift key only, and now the down arrow. You can see I can select an entire line all at once. By moving up, I can remove one of the lines. Again, I can still move right or left with my Shift key. It will go line by line. If I hold Control Shift, of course, then I start going by word. So you can see how using those to select specific parts of code can quickly become very much more efficient than trying to select things with a mouse once you've gotten used to these commands. So I recommend you practice them on specific parts or even force yourself on your next project to avoid using the mouse as much as possible. Finally, if for some reason you just want to delete an entire line, you can simply place your cursor on the line and hit Control D. Now that will remove the line without having to do any selection. Control Z, of course, is undo, so we can see that come back. And essentially, we have the ability to remove that line. It doesn't have to be selected simply by doing Control D. So that wraps up our look at using some different selection and interaction keyboard shortcuts that will help us to become much more efficient programmers and save us a lot of time as we continue to navigate through our code without having to use the mouse.